have a Merry Christmas, folks. This video is released on Christmas Day. Make sure you spend it with your family. Happy holidays, and enjoy the video. Yes, you know what? I like Allen Robinson, but these injuries has been scaring me with all these wide receivers. Maybe Mike Williams, too, out of San Diego. That could be a wide receiver the Lions target. Allen Robinson. What free agent should the Lions target, Antonio Hightower?
Oh, he said one of them, and that person is Chris Godwin, because he's like the top wide receiver who's hitting the market who's not super old. I mean, Devontae's 29, Allen Robinson's 29, Godwin's only 26. He's only 26, and he's really good. Honestly, he's been. I mean, I don't know. This year's kind of up and down, but he's shown that he could be better than Mike Evans, and people love Mike Evans. So Chris Godwin is definitely one. If J.C. Jackson hits the market, we need to go after him heavy, because J.C. Jackson is that guy. He's kind of what people think Treylon Diggs is. He's kind of what people think Treylon Diggs is, because he is an amazing cover corner, unlike Diggs, and he still gets picks, which is crazy that he does that. So, Godwin, JC, Mike Williams would be interesting, but the problem with Mike Williams is, it's just injuries with him. He's kind of always been injured throughout his career so far. He got injured this year too. And another wide receiver, I think we should also go with the Michael Gallup for the Cowboys. He's also not super old, only 26. I think he's kind of underrated.
I've been talking about him before even the season started, of getting Michael Gallup.
I think he's been underrated for years. I think he could be a real number 2 wide receiver.
I think he can be our bigger Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah, he could be a real. Yeah, he could be real nice. He could be a real number 2, with Godwin as your number 1. And your passing game, it would at least have some potential. Now, it's going to have a cap on it because you have a Jared Goff as your quarterback, which is why you draft a quarterback. But those are some guys. Those are just some guys I go after. Mostly wide receivers.
Question here from Steve. He says, do you see the Lions promoting Ben Johnson to offensive coordinator? Yes, I do. I'm just going to say it right now. I do expect it, and that goes to Zach J's question. Who replaces Lynn? I expect it to be Ben Johnson. That's what I expect our offensive coordinator to be. Let's see. Which players should the Lions pay attention to in the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl? Antonio Hightower.
He said Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. Well, not to be obvious, but I guess you got to pay attention to Hutch. You got to pay attention to Hutch.
If they win
this is another guy to say.
If they win it, I think he's bona fide one.
Also, I also heard he's going to the Senior Bowl, so he's gonna get a few chances to prove himself. But
who do we draft if we end up winning out? I think we'd probably be like the 5th pick. Who do you think we would draft? Maybe Kyle Hamilton? I think that's who I'd take.
At that point, I think you got to go Hamilton at that point if he lasts that long. I don't know if he lasts to 5. I think he might go 4. But if Hamilton is there at 5, you get him. I don't think he's going to be there. So at that point, you might have to. Stingley might be the move at that point. If Hamilton is gone, Thibodeau's gone, and Hutch is gone, at that point, Stingley's probably you got.
We got to trade Decker to the Bears for draft capital since they have a terrible offensive line for Justin. No.
No. Trade him to the Giants.
Why trade him? He's doing fine now, I feel like. I mean, I guess if you wanted to, if there's an upgrade, but there's so many positions I feel like we can fill at this point.
But, well, hey, we've all acknowledged that Sewell's true position is gonna be a left tackle,
Yeah, we
right?
do. We know that.
So we
Yes,
so we might as well get the transition moving now because Decker's contract expires in what,
but then
4 years?
you would have to get like Evan Neal, and then you're
You you but you
instead of getting a Trey or a Kayvon Thibodeau or an Aiden Hutchinson or a Kyle Hamilton, you're just replacing the same position with another position.
I disagree from this standpoint. For this tackle draft is really deep. You don't have to get Neil. You just kind of need a guy. You just need a really talented guy. Honestly, you don't even need a guy who could start right now. You just
Well,
need a
what are you
guy
gonna
you can
get? They don't even have
develop.
a first pick. They only have a first round pick. The Bears.
No, the Giants? Not to the
Oh
Giants,
no,
because
the
the Giants
Giants. They
have
got two. They're not going to be
two
trading one of
top
those first.
tens.
Yeah, they're not going to trade a top 10 pick
Hey,
for
listen, I
Taylor
think
Decker.
if they do want to stick with Daniel Jones, we can come up with a trade packet that will make them give up one of those picks. Just one. I don't know about two.
I'll give them
We ain't getting
I'll give
two.
them Trey Flowers and Mike Valenti. They like Mike Valenti over there. I
But
think
yeah,
that's what we'll do.
but yeah, but yeah. I
Who
do
will
think
be
this
the
is the
biggest
time to move off
sleeper
of.
we could draft in the later rounds? This is a good question. How about this? I'll say this: linebacker Mike Jones. That could be a sleeper.
What's considered the later rounds?
6th, 7th round, 5th maybe.
Ooh, sixth, seventh, and fifth. Um, well, I guess. Well, I do got a few guys. I think the guys I'm thinking of, they might be going in the fourth. They might be going around the fourth. I think we still need another linebacker.
Yep.
We could go out to a guy like DeMarvin Overshawn. He's a safety who moved to linebacker. It's probably going to take him a little bit to develop because he needs to gain some weight. He's like 217, 220 around there. So he needs to gain some weight, but that could be a guy because he's looking at Isaiah Polamalu. If that name sounds familiar, he's related to Troy Polamalu,
Does he
big
have
safety
glorious
from
hair?
USC. I think he has dreads. Oh,
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm
Is
going to
it?
try to get some of these questions really quick because I'm really falling behind. What do you think about the 22 quarterbacks class? I haven't really looked at 2023. I try to stay within. I deep into 1 year's draft, and then I'll wait till week 4 of the next year. What do I think about this year's draft class? I don't think they're as bad as the media says they are. I don't. I just think you can find a quarterback that there's some question marks on everybody. You got injuries with Strong. You have accuracy issues with Ridder. You have being raw with Malik Willis. There's always something you got when it comes to each quarterback. There's something there, but it doesn't mean that they're bad. I just think there's question marks. Let's see. I seen one mock draft. They had the Giants trade to number 2 for the Lions pick. Lions get 5 in a second round and a third rounder. I would like that. Let's see. Would you rather sign a free agent wide receiver or safety, a free safety in free agency? I'm not gonna lie. I'd say both. I think we need both. I think they need to get a safety in free agency, a wide receiver in free agency, and draft a safety because Will Harris is not going to be a safety. Dean Marlowe's not going to be here. You're going to have Tracy Walker. So you're going to have to you want to have 4 safeties on the roster. So I would say both. Do both there. What our Lions need most? Offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Let's see. Does he know Godwin got hurt? Yes, he does. Godwin got hurt, and it seems like all the wide receivers got hurt here that are in free
Yeah.
agents. What is your rating on Dan Campbell this year? I'm going to give him a B+ right now. I think he had some good moments. I think he's had some bad moments. Ben Johnson, OC, would be a great Christmas present. Well, I think you're going to probably get it. Let's see. In the offseason, who are you cutting? Trey Flowers is my number 1 cut. That's exactly who I'm cutting right there. Trying to get to the questions so I can get caught back up. I do apologize. Again, if you don't have a hashtag, I can't see it. So, who are you cutting? I'm cutting Trey Flowers. That's my number 1 cut. Who are you cutting?
Panay Sewell. I'm kidding.
I'll just
I
say I'm about
guess.
to find you. I'm about to beat you.
Um, then who cut? Cause I was about to say Brockers, but I think you can probably trade him. Maybe I was
I don't know.
smart.
I actually looked at his contract. I don't think it's really too cuttable. It's not fair. While
Yes,
you look for another
that's what I
person, let me
thought.
look it up really quick.
I'm thinking maybe hmm, it's other than it's other than Trey Flowers. There's not really many people I could think of to truly cut. Maybe Big V, but you can probably trade Big V at this point. His contract has reached a point where it's tradable. So I guess Will Harris actually.
Okay, so here's the cap hit for Michael Brockers. Nearly 9 million cap hit and dead cap hit of nearly 8 million. So you're losing out of $1 million.
Well, wait. Yeah, so you gain a mil. That's
No,
you only gain a
you're
mil.
gonna
Wait, what?
his cap hit. Yes, you gain 1
Oh
million.
wait,
You're gonna gain 1 million. So that's what you
that's
would get.
post. And this cap stuff's confusing.
Now Vati
That
Vaitai, his cap hit is 8.4 million, or in his dead cap is 4.2. So you would gain 4.2 million.
yeah. The problem is, I think you could probably trade him to somebody. Somebody's gonna be desperate enough to get a left guard that they'll trade for him.
So yeah, Flowers is terrible for sure. Let's see. David Bell out of Purdue is my number one wide receiver. I'm looking at the draft, and I hope Brad Holmes is looking at him hard too.
Mm,
Antonio Jenkins, I think he will be available in the second round. If you want to go
yeah,
David Bell out of Purdue, I like him as well. He's a big guy. I had him in one of my mock drafts. This wide receiver depth is insane in this draft.
yeah.
And if you want to get him, you don't have to get him at 24, 25. He will be there at the 34th pick.
Honestly, if you trade Decker, you could really come up with a pass game with some true upside in this draft. If you get like a QB, if you get a guy like Treylon Burks, because honestly,
Yeah.
Treylon Burks is kind of like baby DK. He's
Yeah,
kind of like,
I'm starting to grow on him a little bit more, Treylon Burks.
I mean, he's like what? He's 6'3", almost 230, and it's gonna run like a 4'3", 4'4". That guy is large and fast. Um, get you a QB. There's some tight end. This tight end draft is pretty all right. You know, you got I know the guy Wademeyer. I don't know the last name. Wademeyer from A&M. He hasn't done a lot. There's Isaiah Likely. I like him. Billingsley is the guy. I don't know where he's going because nobody seems to have the same opinion on him. Because honestly, he's barely played for Alabama. He's kind of like Evan Ingram in a way, but yeah, he's kind of like Evan Ingram in a way. I don't think his hands are as bad as Evan Ingram, but he kind of hasn't played as much as I thought he would.